What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range again, as you can see back behind me. Absolutely beautiful day out here, all except for a little bit of smoke going on. Now, we ain't got it near as bad as some people a little further up north. Most of y'all know I'm down here in Virginia, so we're south enough that we ain't got too much of it, but you can probably see off over in the distance. We got pretty much a full cover of just a light layer of smoke, but it ain't nothing that's gonna stop me from getting some testing done, because I got some interesting stuff planned for today, and we're gonna start it out with a 223 test. So as you can see, I got the jelly contraption set up. We got the chrono down here on this end, and down there at 28 yards, we've got the 2 gel blocks set up. So like I said, this is exactly 28 yards here. As you can see, hadn't done any testing these yet, so we'll get a really nice clear picture. And as always, we're sticking with the heavy clothing barrier with the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt material. And then back down here at the business end, like I said, we're checking out a couple of 223 rounds today. We got the Hornady Critical Defense in 223. This is a 73 grain with their FTX projectile. Nice nickel plated case there. As you can see, it's got the little insert there for the FTX projectile. Like I said, 73 grains here. Velocity, muzzle velocity on the box is claiming 2790. Now, these were sent to me by Steel Punisher, so again, I really appreciate that. And then I figured we may as well put something up beside it instead of just testing it alone. So I got the Gold Dot here, the Speer Gold Dot 223. As you can see, again, nice nickel plated case with that soft point projectile there. Now, I have tested these Gold Dot projectiles in a hand load up a while back that was sent to me by somebody. They did absolutely fantastic, so I actually went and ordered some immediately after I did that test for my own personal use. So I haven't tested any of these factory loads yet though, so I figure we might as well check them out and make sure they're just as good as those hand loads. And what we're gonna run them out of here is a 16-inch PSA upper and lower 1-in-7 twist on this barrel here. This is the Angry Joe AR-15 again with the dog face pony soldier. But if y'all are like me, there ain't no doubt in your mind both of these things are gonna do a fantastic job down there in the gel. But let me get it set up and let's see what they do. All right, y'all, let's see if we can get some speeds and see what these things are moving. I'm gonna do a 5-round average on each one, starting with these 73 grain Critical Defense first. Now, like I said, the box is claiming 2790 at the muzzle. I suspect we'll probably see that or see very close to it anyway. Now, I've got the distances on this thing set at obviously muzzle, and then I've got 10 yards, 28 yards, 50, 75, and 100. And 28 yards is exactly where I've got the gel sitting there. And the reason I've got that way at 28 yards is, my opinion, these defensive type 223 stuff like this, 25 to 30 yards is kind of practical for me, and just happens to be that 28 yards works out right where I can line it up real well. So that's the only reason I picked a weird 28 yards. So let's get a 5-round average. I'm going out to 100 with this. Now, we're probably not going to see the 100, almost guaranteed not to see the 100. This thing tells you just the lighter projectiles. We'll probably see out to 75, but like I say, I'm pretty much positive we're not going to get 100. Got 2588, so yeah, we're definitely not at the 2790. And we only got out to 28 yards, so yeah, I was afraid of that. I just got a lot of noise going on my range for one. Yeah, we're only reading the 28 there. All right, we're still in the 2500s though, definitely short of what they're claiming. I don't know what size barrel they ran this out of, but y'all can see we're in the 2500s there. So all of them look like they was in the 2500s. Let's check that average out. All right, so our 5-round average that time was 2570. We had an extreme spread of 46 and a standard deviation of 17.7. So like I said, right much slower than the 2790 at the muzzle that they claiming. I mean, that's what, 220 something, like 220 short. So definitely not what the box is claiming. I hate we only got out to 28 yards, but at least that's where our gel is. So let me reset it and let's try these Gold Dots. All right, let's check out these Gold Dots, y'all. Now, these are lighter, 62 grain, no velocity on the box. I tried to check my alignment on this thing just to make sure I'm aligned up. I'm right on as far as alignment. Like I said, it's just the way, you know, all this wooded area. This thing tells you that noisy fields out there can cause some trouble with lighter projectiles. And it specifically tells you, I think it tells you actually 223, like 55 grain, 60 something grain at a 50-yard max. So I expected this. In other words, I ain't upset about this by any means, but it'd be nice to get longer, but we'll have to get something heavier to do that. I believe I got us all recording, so let's get us a 5-round average on these gold dots. Got 26.32 and we only got to 28. I also tried not hitting the steel and just hitting the paper too, and got the same thing basically. Let me go back to the paper though, just to test it. So 26.32, 26.38 by the way. I got carried away, didn't even say anything. But yeah, we're only gonna get to 28 on these, which no big deal. 26.80. And 26.24. All we had was over there. And 27.01. So looks like we're about 100 or so higher than those critical defense with the heavy projectile. Let's check out the average. All right, so that time our 5-round average was 2,655. We had an extreme spread of 76 and a standard deviation of 33.5. So neither one of these rounds seemed really consistent. Like I said, average on that was 26.55. And if you remember on the critical defense, it was 25.70. So you're talking about a difference of what's that, 85 feet per second. So not a whole lot of difference there. But again, I think they're both going to do a great job in the gel down there. Let me get this reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's slower than the box, but it should still rock the blocks jelly time. Gonna put one of each into the gel, starting with this critical defense 73 grainer first. I got us repositioned obviously towards the gel. Hopefully we don't have any problem getting the reading right there at 28 with it stopping like we do on the handgun stuff. I think we'll be all right here. There's not quite as much noise downrange, or directly in front of it, I should say. Woo, that one went a little bit higher than I wanted. Hopefully it didn't come out the top. Let me go check it out. All right, y'all, as I figured, that one down there is looking absolutely fantastic, and we did get the 28-yard jelly reading down there on the velocity, so I'm glad to see that. Let's try out this gold dot, the 62 grainer here. Again, I expect this to do really good down there. Just put this one up under the other one, of course. All right, that was absolutely perfect. Let's go down there and see what we got. All right, y'all, let's check out what we got down here. We got some nasty glare, but I think y'all can see okay. I'm gonna try to block it. I need that ridge line back in the background just to be a little bit higher. But anyway, what we got down here is no surprise. Absolute fantastic performance from both of these things. On the top here, that was the critical defense. As you can see, it comes in here. If I can block this glare, comes in. It does start fragmenting almost immediately. We saw the same thing, if I remember correctly, from the 308. So this thing definitely likes to fragment. Comes through here, absolute massive amount of disruption, just crazy wound channel there. Carries through this block and looks like it's stopped about, I'm gonna say about 2-3 inches from the end. We'll measure it here in a second, but again, absolutely incredible performance right there. And then down on the bottom, pretty much more of the same. Absolutely fantastic performance again. Now, a difference in how it happened here, you can see right here with this gold dot, it comes in again, immediate expansion, crazy amounts of disruption and wound channel here, but there's no fragmentation at all on this one that I can see. Not one single little speck of lead, jacket, or anything. So this one stayed together, keeps on trucking through this block, and it actually poked into this second block about 1/4 of an inch and then rebounded to rest right at the end of this first one. So absolutely amazing performance from that one also. So as far as the penetration on them, this critical defense here went to exactly 14 inches. So really nice penetration on that one. And then this gold dot, like I said, it poked into this second block exactly 1/4 of an inch and then rebounded back a little bit. So fantastic penetration from both of these rounds. And here's your little bit closer look, hopefully without that glare too. Again, on the top, the critical defense, you can see lots of fragments there, tons of lead and jacket. It's gonna make a mess for me to clean up. And then there's your projectile there. Definitely a little mangled up, but some nice expansion. And then we'll drop right down below. Just look how nice that gold dot projectile looks. You can tell it's completely intact and looks like it expanded beautifully. Very nice and symmetrical. And here's your wound channel again. Just absolute devastation combination from both of those. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Right here, we got the gold dot, and right here, you got the critical defense. So you can definitely tell the difference here. This critical defense is very, very mangled up, lost a ton of material. There's no doubt about it. We saw it in the gel even. And this gold dot, on the other hand, I mean, it's perfect, like a perfect little star opened up there. Very, very symmetrical, very, very nice expansion from it. Now, that being said, nothing bad about either one of these. It just happened in definitely some different ways. And it's pretty interesting to see what this gold dot did on this, because if I remember correctly, like I said, I've tested some hand loads of these that somebody loaded and sent to me, loaded up much hotter than factory, and I want to say we were seeing some 2900s out of those, and if I remember correctly, the projectile was way more mangled up. It was more along the lines of this critical defense. So that shows you right there, these things are definitely designed for a certain speed as far as staying together. But let's weigh them and see what we got here. So this gold dot started at 62, and it's actually at 62.2, so I didn't think we lost anything at all there. It may have, it looks like it picked up a little bit of gel, so it may have lost a little bit of lead and made up for it for the gel. The critical defense, it started at 73, and that thing is all the way down to 38.8, so it lost a ton of material, and there was no doubt, because that gel is absolutely full of it. And then as far as the size here, we'll do the gold dot first. You got 506, 521, and 505, so some really nice even expansion on that one there. And then your critical defense here, you're going to have one side that's definitely bigger than the other. This direction here, you got 377, and then the long way is 416, so nice expansion on that one, although this was more of that frag expansion I always talk about. And there you have it, y'all, the 223 Speer gold dot and Hornady critical defense. Very, very nice performance from both of these, no doubt about it. Like I said, they just went about it in different ways. The critical defense, a little bit less penetration, which a lot of people were going to like, and just massive amounts of fragmentation and disruption. The gold dot, on the other hand, a little more penetration and virtually no fragmentation that I could see. So in my opinion, if I'm picking one of these now, like I said, I'll take either one of these. I don't have a problem with either one, but if I'm picking one or the other, I'm going with the gold dot personally. I just like that these things hold together like they do. Just beautiful, beautiful expansion, and I'd really like to see what these things do through some hard barriers, so I might follow it up with that. But if y'all were gonna have to pick one of these, which one would it be? All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for another fantastic 223 test. No surprise on this one, both of these rounds did a great job, just like I figured they would do. Now, they are slower than what the box said. Of course, the gold dot, I'm not sure, because I'll look online, maybe they got it online, but as far as the critical defense, a good bit slower than what the box showed. It still did a great job in the gel, but you know, that's just par for the course. Most of the time lately, you just don't get the velocity that they put on those boxes. Now, granted, their test barrel could be 20 inch, 24, who knows what they're using, but in my opinion, going bigger than a 16-inch barrel and calling it a home defense or self-defense round, that's a little counterintuitive, to say the least. But let me know what y'all think about both of these rounds. Like I said, if you had to pick one of these, which one would it be for a defensive or hunting purpose? I think for defensive use, I mean, from what we've seen so far, in 223, 556, just grab something and roll with it. I mean, it's either going to tumble, it's going to fragment, it's going to expand, it's going to do something that's going to get the job done. Now, as far as hunting purposes, y'all know I'm far from an expert on hunting, but I would imagine you would want something that stayed together more instead of just fragmenting all the pieces inside of your meat. But like I said, let me know what y'all think about it and which one you'd pick. If you enjoyed the video, reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you don't miss anything when I upload it. If you're doing some shopping, check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after going through any of those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. As always, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel like y'all do. I've got tons of good stuff planned, couple more things for today, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.